Well, hello there, friend. I know I look crazy. Um, let's see if you can see that. It's been raining. It's been raining for, I want to say, 3 full days. And there's a flood warning. I don't know if you can see that through the window. Let me see if I'll open this up. But there's a puddle. It's so hard to see if you can see the puddle while I'm showing it. But yeah, there's a puddle right there. So I took advantage of that and overcame it. I got some snowshoes, if you will. I just tied some bags around my shoes and went out. I cleaned some piss. Since it's raining, I might as well just dump it out, right? It'll take care of itself. But I'm about to put up some Christmas trees while I have the time before I do my stream for the day. So I figured I'd show my before. It's gonna be right up that wall around that end like that is what I intend on doing. So that's the before. I'll show you the after in a minute. Here's the box, by the way. I wanted to show the box. I don't know why. So, toodles. Well, that was easy. Took me about 15 minutes. And I didn't even have to use any tacks. Well, I guess I used one technically. So, like, from my computer, you'd see this. This is kind of where the computer normally sits at. So you got your others how you want to be treated, and you have your a little bit of light. This is what it is, though. I have it going around this. There's like a little bar there where it can just go around, and on this side I have it. This is really cool. So it just goes up here from the extension, and then I just stuck one of the bulbs in a random hole that like a screw fell out of. I was gonna put a tack in there, but I'm like, that's the exact size. I could just stick the bulb in there. So that shit'll probably never move. I'll probably keep that up forever. I always like having these things. By the way, though, they use power. They use some power. It's like 0.4 volts right now. But I've been wanting to do that. Listen to some Christmas music while I did. It took me about 15 minutes. Yeah. Hallelujah. It is 4:11 p.m. on Friday, November 22nd, 2024. This is for week 47. I just finished listening to week 46. Unfortunately, there's a lot of noise in the background, but I was able to create my notes for the week, and I'm happy to do this on time finally. This is a Friday where this is being recorded. And I'm like basically reined in, so I thought it would be a good idea to just go ahead and get this done now. Plus, I'm also a lot more comfortable recording / speaking inside of the whip. One, because it's raining and it's noisier around, so people can't hear exactly what I'm saying, even if they do hear my voice. And also, I just feel more comfortable in this situation in general. I'm not walking outside to record this, I'll tell you that right now. Like, actually, I couldn't stay in here. It's been raining for the last 3 days, right? And yesterday, I completely stayed inside. And unfortunately, I hadn't done food shopping. So I'm running on fumes in terms of food in this vehicle, right? Otherwise, it's not a huge deal. But I just stayed in the crib, and then it's happening again today. And when I look outside, it's like, bro, because the first time it was flooding, it was raining, I went out anyway. I just went out to the library to handle my business, and I was like, bro, that was a mistake. I had a hard time going to sleep because my socks were wet, and I'm like damp and cold, and nothing's drying off because it's not hot enough. So I was like, I'm not doing that again. But today I had to go out. So I found a solution, which was to wrap my shoes in plastic bags, like little booties. That completely solved my problem. So that being said, I still don't want to be out there in the gross whatchamacallit. So I opted to stay inside and set up my Christmas lights and clean up a little bit. Which looks very nice and is making me feel nice and cozy right now. By the way, I didn't include this in my notes, but I'm gonna include it now. I'm gonna say it. I found there's since when I cleaned up. I think it was last week, but last time I cleaned up, I made this like bench area available for me to lay on to like take little naps or meditate on, which is awesome. And I was using this blanket that I found just kind of laying around. There was like this bag of laundry. I think that it was just washed because it all seemed clean. And there was this blanket in there. And ever since I've been using this blanket, like in conjunction with the other blanket that I've been using, I've been having no trouble sleeping, and I've been sleeping in because it's really warm. And I've made a cocoon or a makeshift sleeping bag with the two blankets that I have, and yeah, it's been really amazing. So, um, let me get to my notes here, uh, and it's actually a lot of notes. So I want to mention the fact that because it's the end of the year, and it's actually similar to how it was done last year around November, mid-November, November 15th, November 16th is when I said I'm not going to do any more drinking. I'm not going to do any more smoking in anticipation of the new year, right? Uh, and I started doing my routine. I started to accumulate time in session, right? I started to hold it in and accumulate that spiritual energy and all that stuff. Shortly thereafter is when I got my Spark card, and I was thinking about that too this week. I was thinking about how, you know, at the top, like we're talking about, like 2 years ago, I was like injured, like crippled. I'm crippled, broke. You know what I mean? And my credits to shit. And then and then after that, shortly thereafter, I'm like limping in Tampa Bay at a fucking shelter slash sleeping outside. Right? And that year, the main important thing that I did, if you look at it in hindsight, besides establish the fact that my family doesn't care about me and there's something weird going on, I also established my routine, right? My daily kind of set post routine coming from TRW. And then on top of that, I started the LLC. That was the major thing that I did that month besides become... It's almost like I broke free from my family spiritually because I basically realized, okay, nobody here is trying to help me. Actually, everyone is trying to discourage me, and they're like jealous, and they feel, you know what I mean? And I had to realize, like, I need to cut myself off from this family. I need to not be attached to this family because they will stop me if they can. So I made the decision right then and there, basically, when I was sleeping on the side of the road and my aunt couldn't pick me up so my mom could take me home the next day, or when my grandmother, my cousin, and my aunt all live in that area, and I'm sleeping under a bridge while I try to start this new job. Okay, so they could all suck my dick, pretty much, and that's what important happened that year. Then the next year, which is this year, after that actually, when I did my year-end review, I was actually pretty impressed, and that's documented on this channel where I said, like, I only really took 10 weeks off. I was focused on my purpose every week of this year except for 10 weeks when I was discouraged based off of all the shit that was happening. So that encouraged me. I'm like, hey, dude, I could do that. If this is the first time that I've done this, that I tried and I tracked everything, I bet you I could do it better next year. Like I'll try to do it a little bit better. So that's kind of where we're at now. It's the mid-November, and I'm excited to do my end of the year wrap up, see how I did, and make an outline of what to expect for the next year, kind of thing. So I just want to mention, right now I'm at I owe myself 15 sets and posts, and I have 76 hours in my surplus, my session surplus, and on the month I've spent $190.27 with about a week to go, and I have like we'll say in terms of the food that I have on hand, um, if those are uh, 10, there's 20, there's 2, so there's I want to say there's about 5 meals in the form of Uncrustables that I currently have. And then I have ramen. I'm going to assume I have enough ramen to use these eggs, which is about 4. No, I'm sorry. It's about four servings for me, but I'm going to say like 4 days, basically. And basically what I'm saying is I think I can kind of like squeeze it in, just kind of like make it through November with 190, which is perfect. And like, I mentioned it was been raining, so that's why I owe 15 sets is because I've been rained in for the last 3 days. I don't want to go to the gym when it's raining because I want to shoot basketball, and it be puddles in that area. So what I intend on doing is over the weekend, if I can, I'm gonna try to do 7 sets over the next 2 days. Hopefully it's not fucking raining the whole time. But that's what I intend on doing. No drinking or smoking this week. No notice on the vehicle. I didn't go to the DMV. I didn't talk to financial aid or really do anything on my to-do list, my major to-do list, besides pay Spark. I paid $430, and my gym membership went through on the card. I just checked that. Those are the 2 things that I did from my major to-do list. I focused on maintaining my YouTube queue and schoolwork. So I have basically everything done. My schoolwork's done to December 2nd, minus one assignment, which is due on, I don't know, the 27th. And then my YouTube queue has been perfect up until now. Like right now, it's starting to run out, and tonight I'm probably going to get back on there because I intend on after this. I'll talk about that in a second. So, I've been streaming on Twitch pretty consistently. I was doing Battle Aces until the beta ended, and then I went back to StarCraft. We're at 50 or 51 followers now. I don't know how many I gained in the last week, but I want to say about 10, which sounds crazy. It really does when I think about it. Like, what? It's at least 5 or some shit like that. It's like damn near 10. That's crazy. But yeah, we got 50 followers, which is like a landmark for Twitch. I think you can become an affiliate with that many followers, but you have some other qualifications that you have to hit. I've been slacking on my CB and sessions though, so I did 5 hours this week, just because it's cold and and all that good stuff. So I need to figure out when I need to be doing that. I had an idea of doing like, well, first of all, if I like insulate this vehicle and then I can like kind of do some stuff with the heat, it would probably be fine. I could do it whenever, like long term. But I think short term, what I was thinking was if I go to the gym at like 5, I could be at the library about 10, do a 4-hour stream there, and then do a CB stream from 2 to 6. The point is it has to be warm, but then at the same time that cuts into there's like my battery bank. There's a lot of different factors that are at play, and it's hard to do a CB type of stream when you're preoccupied. So I have this huge surplus that I have no shame in dipping into at all. I don't even know how long this lasts. I think it lasts like a month or something like that is about what I have. So in theory, we should never have to use that, but whatever. So, yeah, I've been making use of the library, like I mentioned I could last week, for comfort reasons. Like when I'm sitting there, I'm not preoccupied with how my solar's doing. I've done it many times, so I'm comfortable there. I kind of forget where I'm at, kind of deal. Yeah, it's like comfortable. I also feel cool because I'm using my I'm dressed well, and I have like this perfect cool studio set up amongst all these other people. So like, and I'm fashionably looking cool. I'm around other people. It's just nice to be able to use my briefcase and set up like the way that I can. So and then also I've been wanting to lay off my batteries as much as possible so we could top them off. But that being said, it's been raining for 3 days. There's a flood warning. So I haven't really got a good read on what exactly is topped off. And it apparently it's gonna rain for like a while, so for like a week longer. I'm not used to it. I guess I'm used to it when it rains, like raining for days, but I'm used to it not raining around this time. Is what I thought, but whatever. Yeah, sometimes it rains, sometimes it don't. So because of the rain, I thought I decided to clean some piss. I just poured it right out because I could just pour it right out the door because there's a huge puddle of rainwater there and it's all gonna wash away anyway. So yep, like I mentioned, that rain is what led to the aforementioned set post deficit. Just today, I put up those Christmas lights I mentioned, and it was perfect. I didn't have to use. You may even get a clip of it in this vlog because I recorded some actual video stuff to show this whip off for maybe last week and this week, or 2 weeks ago and this week, or something like that. But yeah, I did it before and after of me setting up the Christmas lights. I was listening to some Christmas music while I did it. I'm determined to have a Christmas like moment this year. I'm gonna like watch Christmas movies and like have hot chocolate and listen to Christmas music and all that good shit this year. I'm gonna have a couple moments at least. Put up Christmas lights, perfect. Zero Space, and then okay, so Zero Space Weekend beta starts today, so I intend on streaming that tonight if I can. And I also intend on moving tonight, or very soon, to the ideal spot, because it actually looks like someone is in the spot that I intended on going to next, which is like probably the ideal spot for safety. But then there's also the spot I'll probably go to the spot behind them, which is like the ideal spot for solar, and it's like really close. You know what I mean? It's like I think I'll be able to stay there. So another thing that I was able to do this week is I think it was like the last couple of days. Basically, I just felt like talking to myself. Honestly, I feel like talking in general, right? I want to talk to someone. I want to talk to myself. I just want to talk. I don't know why, but that's what happens. And I for whatever reason, I just didn't want to like pull out my laptop and stream or whatever. So I just like sat here and recorded a voice note while I thought about like the big macro stuff, which is one of the things on my to-do list that I wanted to do. And I don't think I've done it completely, but I kind of want to give an update on what I have established so far. So I wrote down macro plan, right? For between now and December 20th, we are intending on chilling and establishing a sustainable living situation in routine due to the uncertainty around arbitration. So December 20th is when the arbitration case that's open will officially close. And, the holidays, the last, month before, the new year. I don't want to put pressure on myself to do anything. Right? Like I could do a number of things to try to make progress happen, but it would be irrelevant or wasted if depending on what happens with the settlement, or with the arbitration case. So, depending on the settlements and financial aid, etc., I may want to get a guard card for the first 6 months of 2025 to fund the proper official music release and re-release in April of 2025 and a tour, traveling. So, depending on whether it's like, do I need to get a job basically to save up, or not? Do I have or do I have $70,000 in a settlement in my bank? That's basically what it is. So I don't know. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to give myself between now and December 20th. And the tasks that I'm trying to take care of is parking in a sustainable, like I'm already in a sustainable spot, but parking in there's only 2 more potential spots. So I'm going to test those spots out. If I can, there's one spot in particular I want. If I can stay there, it's a solar, ideal for solar. That's great. Then insurance and license. And potentially EBT, right? Or right. And then the routine, the daily / weekly routine, and the food shopping, like the amount of money being spent on food, basically. These are the things that I want to work on between now and the end of the year. Right? So at the end of the year, we have a really good solar position where we don't have notices and nobody's bothering us. We're official, legal, all the way legal with a license and insurance. And we're like a zombie, you know what I mean, on a track or something, on those things where you repeat, like people that repeat their steps over and over and over again, they like burn a hole in the path that they walk every day. We're doing that. We're so in the zone that we're not even really thinking about our routine. We're just doing it, like a factory or something. There's going to be no drinking until further notice. I already have enough musical content. So just like this year or last year around this time, when I said we're just not going to do it anymore. We're not going to drink on New Year's. We're not going to drink for the holidays. We're not going to drink for any of that. We're going to start now with being clean and building that momentum for 2025. And then in January, no matter what, there will be continued credit, legal action, or other work. It'll probably resume in mid-January. I'm going to give myself a mental break. And then, during that time, maybe I come up with a strategy, how I want to do it. CPN, credit sweep, EIN only, lawyer, That'll resume in January, but we're not going to do any of that. We're going to give ourselves a little bit of a break. I already knew that was going to happen. Whether we win, lose, or draw. Then I also wrote down Bachelor's in Psychology graduation summer 2025. So another little tidbit that I wrote down is, I've been on this for 2 years now. I mentioned that at the top. Basically, there was the year that I came to Florida, right? Which I interpret as a fun year. It's probably like the 3rd or 4th year where I was just existing. I was trying out the normie yuppie life, and it wasn't really working for me. I was just being too drunk all the time, and I wasn't even really doing music like that. It was really bad. So, I was just really just getting... Actually, I was at this time. Once I came back to Florida, I started making music better again on BandLab, which I guess that's another thing that I started that year. That was the year before, though. So, yeah, that year, I came in contact with TRW, and I was able to go home. But then, after I injured myself, that's when I established the routine. And then, I had a rocky year. And then we have this year, where I was able to kind of stay locked in until about June. Right? And then I think I took off 2 months, June and July. When I say took off, I mean I was drinking on a regular basis again. That's when I started taking drugs again. And then in August, or the end of July to August, September, October, I've been consistently doing my thing. And then at the beginning of October, I had a little bit more of a drinking, or end of September, beginning of October, the drinking kind of picked up back to its normal pace. And then smooth now, it's been pretty much at a regular kind of whatever sustainable pace. The normal, not great, but not dire pace. Stayed there until about last couple weeks. So I really, and truthfully, bro, this is the thing. I just have it in my mind. This next year, this is when it happens. Okay? Like, you have to give yourself credit for the last 2 years where you developed and you've grown and you've evolved and you've become this type of individual. It's hard to even place it, but your productivity levels, the amount of energy that you're willing to expend, the amount of energy that you've accumulated and that you're able to sustain is increasing. So that when calamity struck, because of the way that you conduct business on a daily basis already, you were able to tackle the tasks necessary to not only make the transition, but to make the transition to blow it out of the fucking water and literally end up in a dream scenario. A dream scenario. A situation that people literally just dream about. A dream scenario, a situation that people dream about. Right on time. I honestly don't even know how I could. It's like, wow. So it's like, I'm starting to see, like, I don't even know how many YouTube subscribers I have right now, but I literally, like, damn near, it feels like every day I'm gaining a sub. I have 117 right now. I feel like I gained 5 in like the last 2-3 days. And yeah, my videos are getting a lot of views and shit like that, so CB streams, I have like $18 or $20 in there. It's like, I'm actually a professional at this. You feel me? So like last week, I remember I mentioned like, yo, what you're doing is a big deal. You know, you got to kind of give yourself credit and celebrate. And also, thank God, be grateful. Because literally it's like, I'm essentially retired / financially free. I'm a president and owner of a business. I'm a college graduate with a bachelor's in psychology. I'm a homeowner, an athlete, an professional esports athlete, a model, and a professional corn star. All of these things, technically, right? I purchased a home this year. I am I have an associate's degree already in psychology, so I am a college graduate in psychology. I'm also going to graduate with a bachelor's very soon. I'm the president and owner of a business, right? And I say retired / financially free because basically, I'm never going to actually retire. That's impossible because God hired me. No, He can't fire me. So, God, my job is to enjoy my life, and that job was given to me by God, and I'm always going to do that. But what I mean by that is I'm financially free. I don't have to punch a clock. So, you're doing great, man. You're absolutely doing fucking fantastic, and everything is going amazing for you. And yeah, basically, we don't know what's gonna happen with the settlement, with the court case. We don't know, right? We could get $100,000. They could appeal. Or we can get $2,000, we don't know what's gonna happen. So I don't want to get a guard card yet. I just don't want to. So, depending on whether or not I have to, that's what's gonna dictate what happens next. You know what I mean? So, what to look forward to going forward? We have Thanksgiving coming up, which I want to make sure that I highlight the fact that I want to have no communication with any family members at all, essentially. Because I want to stay off of my family's mind. That's not about Thanksgiving. That's just in general. I don't want to be on their mind. I don't want them I don't want to pick the scab or to reinvigorate, to frustrate the wound or whatever negative feelings they have towards me, because I don't want them to send me negative juju. Okay? I fully, God damn it, and this is this is the type of shit that I really like about myself right now. Like when I was talking about the whole like last week, I mentioned how I was contemplating like getting I can get a guard card right now, right? It's like in my mind, and I was like, nope, not gonna do it. Just no, no reason, no rhyme or reason, in my gut or whatever. I just don't want to do it. So it's the same thing with this. It's like, okay, Black Friday's coming up, and I want to get a laptop. Right, this laptop doesn't open and close safely. I got to keep it plugged in all the time, and it's a source of stress for me, right? So I'm like, guess what? Black Friday is the best time to make a purchase of that size. It's like the only thing I want to do, and they can do it on credit or payments. Let's do it. You know what I mean? I need to do this. Period. I want to purchase a fucking laptop, a good one, from Best Buy, a top of the line one, and put that shit on credit and make it a long ass fucking agreement. It could be, you know, $1,500 over 2 years for all I give a fuck, right? That's what I want to do. I basically made a decision. I'm going to try to do this. Period. Even though technically, you know, I don't really have the money, right? It's like I'll make it happen. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, if it's like $1,000, let's just say it's about $1,000, I can get that in plasma money. Like I could just go ahead and like, you know what I mean? But so yeah, that's about that. Then I need to cut my nails. I intend on I like to do that after a shower, so I'm probably gonna do that tomorrow because I really need to get this wet dog smell off of me. But we'll see what happens. I need to talk to financial aid. I need to go to the DMV and test. I need to get my insurance. I need to do the post-hearing brief by December 2nd. I need to see what's next with Discover. I need to do my BOI for Sound Daniel Studios by December 31st. I need to clean, which I did. So I don't really need to clean. But, you know, there's some garbage and some shit that could probably get taken care of. Then there's move, so there's 2 more spots to check. Laundry, EBT, schoolwork, YouTube queue, like scheduling, like figuring out what bills land on what dates. So I put down bill schedule, food shopping, and then look into psychology degree jobs, like jobs where you can get them slightly before you graduate with your bachelor's, basically. I want to do a more thorough macro checkpoint. I need to be taking DMV practice tests. I want to make sure I have a Christmas nostalgia moment where I watch old Christmas movies. I want to top off these batteries. And like I mentioned last week, new approaches to credit/business in light of arbitration difficulties, credit sweep, CPN, lawyers, EIN only. And that is week 47. Tonight, the sun is setting. I have my Christmas lights up. I have my stomach full. I have my vlog recorded. I took my shit. I fully intend on trying to play Zero Space tonight. If not, I'll play StarCraft. And then from there, we'll see. So once again, I think next week I'll try to record after I attempt to get something from Best Buy, because Black Friday is next Friday. Next Thursday is Thanksgiving. And that's about that. Sorry for the hold up here. I'm just kind of looking. Okay, so yeah. By next week, I hope to have, like, I'm going to probably get this laptop. I just see that. I see that happening. I will also have, hopefully, I will have news about confirmation about the financial aid. I should have my license and insurance. Um, yeah, yeah. I think that's about that. Um, right. I'm actually gonna have to. Like I have I pretty much intend on trying to partner with a label of some sort, like a record label, for this next whatchamacallit, which means I might have to like try to do a sales pitch for an advance. I don't really need any money. You know what I mean? Like, but that's one of the things that I need to be trying to do basically is find places to perform open mics, find potential managers and labels and stuff like that because I want to do a proper release of Goon and a re-release of Remedy. And I want to do, and what I mean by that is like mix and mastered, and then if I can, also on streaming platforms is what I like to do. And then I like to either like leading up to it or right after, I like to start traveling, and I hopefully permanently, right? Like I'd like to start traveling, going from city to city, maybe like on a weekly basis, passing out flyers, promoting myself, and meeting people in public, and just kind of trying to sell myself every once in a while, along with the other streaming shit. And that's just what I want to be doing from at some point, right? Hopefully, starting now, right? Like at the end of this month when they give me it's like hopefully I receive a huge fat fucking check, and I can use that money to fund the next business steps as well as traveling, and that's pretty much what we're working towards. So whether I have to like get a job at a place and work overnight as a security guard and save up until April and then go, or if I need to, like, you know what I mean, or if I just get it right away and I can kind of start traveling sooner, and then in preparation, like to start building it up, then that's what I'll do. That's kind of what I'm starting to realize is the focus at this point, and yeah, that's pretty much what it is. You know what I mean? I need to start getting in contact with people. I need to start whatchamacallit, and I'm trying not to worry. It's like whether I get a settlement or I have to do the guard card thing, or if I figure out the whole like business loan thing and credit thing. However that goes, right? I'm trying to have this like a promotion budget of at least like $10,000 to $15,000 by March or February, right? So in February, I'd like to have like okay, it's like okay, I'm gonna contact a bunch of influencers and models and stuff like that, and like get them to wear shirts or twerk or say something, right? And you can do that, by the way. Like you could just go to like Fiverr or like people. You could just like pay people and they'll do it for you. And that's gonna be how I promote it. Like make a TikTok with it, make a video clip at me, that kind of thing. Sign my petition, uh, and then travel around and have and just advertise to people everywhere that I go. Right. So right now I have you do 4 hours a session, you do 4 hours of stream, and you do 4 hours of gym. Now there's still 4 more hours, and whether that's 4 hours of whatever, like maybe 3 days out of the week, those 4 days are at a club, right? I mean, just a club. Like I go to a club, I'm trying to figure out what's the vibes, how we rocking over here, and try to, like, politic a little bit from Friday to Sun or something like that, Thursday to Friday or Saturday, and then yeah, work it out that way. And that's pretty much it. This is exactly what we're talking about many months ago, except we're actually here now. Like, by the way, it's like really ominous, weird feeling having like the Christmas lights lighting up the inside of here when it's dimming down outside. So it's an oddly cozy and ominous vibe at the same time. Okay, so what else, Daniel? What else do we need to say? Yeah, no, that's pretty much it. Like, I have recorded, I want to say like 30 to 40 songs. So I don't need to, you know what I mean? Like, if I was trying to still like make music for this project, like, it's like I could drink a little bit, but bro, I have more than enough music. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm really excited. I'm excited about the prospect of being able to do this, because I really think this is what it is, right? Basically, if I get a nice hefty settlement in December, it's like, okay, now I feel good. I can move around. I can purchase a few things to make myself more comfortable. Put some Velcro blacked out curtains on the windows and insulate everything. Maybe get some more solar panels and some more batteries and just kind of like spruce things up a little bit. And then, I'm saying like every day or week, once a week, it's like, okay, I'm gonna take a couple hour drive and go to this city, right, where I have a parking spot in mind, and I'm gonna go to that city and I'm gonna talk to mad people, and it's just like everywhere I go, I'm gonna be like stopping and talking to people. I'm gonna have like probably like an outfit with like with like my on it and shit like that. And I'm literally just gonna go around and be like, yeah, I'm gonna be performing here at this open mic place, just talking to a lot of people and communicating to people and just getting the word out there and doing that as much as possible. And my skills, my talent will shine through, and I will quickly gain followers. Right? That's like on CB or on Twitch or YouTube. It's like, I am a expressive personality. This is what I'm meant to do. I'm a Leo, So like, music wise, what you don't know is I've been making music since I was like 14. Right? So it's been like 15 years that I've been making music. And over the course of that time, I've made some bangers. And I've garnered or established a certain level of talent. Damn, that felt really close. And so, it's gonna show. It's gonna show, and people are gonna be, and again, bro, it's like you literally have to understand, like, not everybody has the opportunity that you created for yourself. You forced the opportunity, right? So, sure, a lot of other people are artists and they're talented, but they have a kid. Like Marlon, for instance, right? You got a kid. You have to work like 3 jobs. All right? I have an advantage, and a competitive advantage against him and against Brandon and against Noah, who all have jobs and families and responsibilities. I don't have that. And guess what? That puts me in rarefied air. Not a lot of people have that ability. Right? The amount of people who are my age, are essentially financially free / retired and have the ability to, and also have maintained, have practice over many years, and on top of that, have something to talk about, because we're talking about, someone could do that all those years, but they could be staying at their parents' house. I've been living life, being in the street and struggling. So I actually have content to put into the artwork that, again, it further differentiates me from the field. So that's kind of like it's gonna be I think it'll be relatively fast, but it doesn't really matter because it's just ultimately the work has to happen. The work has to get done, and I've been thinking about this a lot. Right, time is gonna pass whether you use it or not. My mom likes to say that a lot, but also like the steps to the ultimate goal remain the same. So you make your progress, but you get sidetracked with a job and opportunity and other things. Right, calamity, life happens, but you haven't, and years pass and you haven't made progress towards that aim. I'm determined that in this life to move that ball as far down the field as I possibly can. And if I don't get them this time, I'm going to get them next time. But we going to get them though. We going to get them. You know what I mean? So what I've done is I've freed up as much time as possible so that I can damn near guarantee in this life nobody can put more time toward their dream than me. And a lot of people, you know, you haven't thought about it, strategized enough. Before you know it, you're 35 years old and uninterested and tired. And you realize like, oh man, all this time I could have been doing these things. Right? Me personally, I've always kept in mind, I've always kept my dreams alive. I've always been like, these are the things I need to do. They've always been on in the back of my mind. I've always been preparing myself for this, right? When I was in 2017, when I was with Isabella, I was trying to be a professional e-athlete, working out at the gym. It's the same, man. And making music. That's what I was doing. And it's the same thing now. So all that time and all that effort toward these things, I'm telling you right now, I'm going to put Marlon on. I'm going to put fucking Brandon on. I'm going to put Noah on. Straight up. I'm going to sign them niggas. Yeah, man. I gotta make this product. I gotta advertise this product, and I gotta, you know, maybe potentially partner with other whatchamacallits. But now I feel like I'm kind of rambling now. So yeah, that's basically it. Ultimately, this whole thing, right? Because I could have stayed with my aunt, man. I could have stayed with my fucking aunt. I said no. I'm going to pursue my dreams. I'm trying to set up my situation so that I can pursue my dreams. I can't be in this negative energy. I can't be around these people. And I need to be able to move around and have a certain level of privacy and comfort, which I've done. You know what I mean? I've gotten to that point. So now, you know what I mean? Imagine if I get the funding. I've said it before. I feel like if I do get a nice large lump sum, that's God's way of saying, here you go. It's time to go. So I think that's about it. I could ramble and ramble and ramble forever. That's just the way that I operate. But, you know, I'm really, really excited, and I want you to understand that what you're doing is, in fact, special, is, in fact, important, and it's going amazingly. Okay? So that's what this is all about. This is all, it's funny because to be able to do the other thing, I have to have the first major win, right? And that win is like, basically retiring or becoming financially free. And it's like, we're not even celebrating that. But it's here. You know, it's essentially established. I'm thinking about it in my head. I'm like, bro, I'm going to be able to do this. I'm gonna be out. I'm gonna be fresh to death. I'm gonna be at these fucking clubs, looking fly as fuck, soaking it all in. You know, going to famous spots like the fucking Laugh Factory, fucking Rodeo Drive, fucking the Walk of Fame, fucking the Mothership, O Block, all these places that you hear about and see on TV, but you never actually get to see, never actually get to go to. This is what it is. So then basically, yeah, by the end of next year, I think the credit situation should be fully resolved. And we should have multiple LLCs going. We have our bachelor's degree. We're on tour, getting a little bubble going on our music situation / career, right? And fully fucking financially free, literally. I mean, and it's like, again, a lot of people would that would be the end of the story, right? It's like, okay, you're good, you're financially free, you can just chill, right? Yeah, no. I'm going to now I have the ability to pursue my dreams, and there's another level, right? So it's like, okay, cool. So you're financially free and you're getting a little bubble, whatever, and it's like basically you're rich and you're able to pursue your dreams. Isn't that it? No. Now my dreams need to come true. So I'm financially free, and I'm out and about, which is, you know, it's huge. It's huge. It's a huge win. But then at some point, it's like, it's time to activate. You know what I mean? And the final step is that worldwide fame by like 31, 32. You know, I'm meeting the Drakes, the Duke Dennises, the Kai Cenats, the Doja Cats, Ice Spices. You know, I'm around. Central C, I'm around. Undeniable. And that's the part where everybody who doubted me and my family and stuff like that eat it. They get to suck it. Because it's like, you can't. See, I'm out here. I'm actually doing it. So yeah, man. That's your why, and I find it important to kind of reiterate and remember. And I was fortunate enough to be able to make that happen this week, and really think about it. So realistically speaking, it's like, dude, just relax. You know, that's kind of what I did this week. It's like, just relax, get in your rhythm. Like I said, we want to get into this routine. Major thing, license and insurance. That's the main thing, and we can try to get EBT and move to a specific spot, but we already have this spot. So I think we got the spot, we got the gym, we got the coffee, you know, we got the shit, we got the piss, we got the, you know, the free soda, we got the foods. We just have to make sure that we're legal, and that'll allow us to leave eventually. I always intended on, whether it was because I just wanted to be nice to Petaluma or just my own personal thing, I always intended on spending the holidays here. And then in the coming near future, I'm sorry, I don't know what I was talking about. I just kind of lost my train of thought. And I'm at the point where I'm kind of thinking out loud, and this doesn't need to be this long. But basically, yeah. Once I have those things, especially if I get that laptop, boy, I'm gonna be so lit. The crazy thing is, if I can get a credit line through Best Buy, if Best Buy like gives it to me on credit through a credit line with them, it's like, bro, I'm gonna pay this with a credit card. So I'm gonna get this laptop today, right? And then I'm going to probably have to make a down payment or something. And then I'm going to be able to make the payments on the thing with a credit card and further kick the can down the road. I'm also, I need to put this down. I'm thinking about contacting, Yeah, with in contacting Discover or contacting Capital One or contacting all these other places, and basically seeing if they will help me pay with a bill of exchange or a negotiable instrument. Because I've heard of people doing that with Capital One and other banks. And if I have $3,000 a month, like if I was able to endorse this credit card that I have now, we'd be straight. I don't need 3,000 a month ever. So, you know, it's possible that that happens too. I need to be thinking about that. Because if they don't have a problem with me endorsing, the problem that I have is I just don't want them to be able to cut me off randomly and then me be fucked. So that's kind of why I wanted to get in steep. I wanted to get like a lot of access to like many different credit lines and a high number of them, and a high number like total, so that I could do my thing. But yeah, I definitely thought about that as well. So just real quick to wrap this all up. It's been a chill day. It's been a lot of rain. We pretty much decided that going to December 20th and probably the end of the year, maybe mid-January, is when things will start to pick up, and we'll be deciding if we want to move, if we want to stay, if we want to get a job, if we don't, and all that good shit. And then whether I have to work, because if I have to work, I could probably in the 4 months I could probably accumulate like a cool 10 grand or something like that, to use for promotion purposes. But I think it's going to be, what I'm envisioning in my head is having access to credit or just a large sum of money. It could be a settlement, or it could just be a large credit line that I was able to have access to because of credit sweep or something like that. Okay. So is there anything else, friend? No. I just want to say that I love you to pieces. I want you to know that you are amazing. And I don't want you to be nervous. I don't want you to be, anything like that. You deserve this. You deserve this. This is what is supposed to be happening. And, just take it step by step the way you have been, and you will win. You will get there. And we're talking about being a successful businessman, and having the fame and the clout and the physical body and the money and the acclaim and the degree and all that good stuff, so that you can have the huge family and overcome death long term. Got it? Alright, man. I love you to pieces. It's been a pleasure. It's been about an hour. This is week 47. God bless.